currently riding in the rain and being able to record myself on my e-bike. Pretty sweet. Now this thing is actually pretty amazing. It's tiny, it records really high resolution, 5.3K at up to 60 frames per second. It also allows what it calls full frame mode, which is essentially this really weird aspect ratio that they've allowed you to shoot in, and then you can make your 16:9 framing and kind of punch in a little bit. And again, shooting that at 5.3K, you're still gonna get a 4K resolution shot, even punching in on the shot that you took. So pretty cool, allows for some really creative type of things that you can do and post with that footage. Again, being able to shoot at 5.3K at 60 frames per second is pretty intense, and I don't even need that. I'm pretty much always shooting in 4K. That's really the highest resolution that I need. So usually just to kind of help the camera out, because it does have a tendency to overheat. I've never overheated it myself, but I've definitely felt it getting warm quickly. And again, like I said, I've just kind of avoided 5.3K and just recorded in 4K like I am right now. This is in 4K, 24 frames a second. And one thing I do want to note about this is this camera is extremely wide angle. I mean, fisheye wide angle. Right now what you're viewing is the most punched in version that you can have. So you're gonna have the straightest lines, and I do like how this looks, but this is really all I like of how it looks. I really hate that really heavy distortion fisheye look. Maybe some people like it more than I do, but I hate it. So I don't really foresee myself using the ultra wide angles unless I'm trying to be creative and show you something weird like that and be funny or something. But most of the time I find that type of distortion to just be way too much, and I don't like it in the type of thing that I use it for. So really wide angle, really heavy distortion. But again, you can digitally punch in like I'm doing now. Currently riding in the rain and being able to record myself on my e-bike. Pretty sweet. I mean, I've had, you know, high-end full frame mirrorless cameras. Right now I've got the R7 on my sling bag here. APS-C wildlife camera setup with the RF 100 to 400. But I can't use that stuff out in the rain. I could if I had weather sealed lenses, of course, but I don't. And with this, I'm still able to capture this footage. You know, the footage is definitely not as good as using my mirrorless cameras. It definitely falls apart in lower light, but I can get the footage. I can get this footage in the rain. It smooths things out so well for what this tool is intended to do. I'm extremely happy with it. I can throw it on my bike. I can listen to myself jibber jabber like this. I can talk to you guys, and it's super smooth, even when I'm hitting these crazy bumps. I mean, I'm doing 20 miles an hour right now, and it's gonna look nice and smooth when I get it onto the computer. I'm really confident of that. So, love the ability to capture high resolution footage. Love the fact that it's weather sealed or waterproof, whatever you want to call it. Now the stabilization works really well, as you guys can see. We're gonna see how the audio quality does. This is literally just a stock GoPro, no microphones, no add-ons, no mods, no nothing. Stock GoPro in the rain, 4K 24 frames per second. We're just testing it out, seeing how it does. Going over massive bumps. We'll see how the stabilization does. But ultimately, really loving the GoPro Hero 11. Can record in 10-bit footage. You know, there's no log footage, but there is a flat profile, which is kind of like using log, I guess. But it does allow for better colors, higher grading possibilities. So really glad that it does have 10-bit footage in there. Actually kind of glad that I got rained on here, because now I'm able to test out whether this camera holds up in the rain or in the weather, and it seems to be working just fine. I kept recording, zero worries there. Battery life, that's probably one of the places where this camera kind of lacks. Seems to suck up a percentage of battery at just about every minute, so 100% battery, 100 minutes roughly is what I would guess. It definitely eats the battery up pretty quick. Again, I don't even use 5.3K really, I'm just using 4K. But overall, I've been extremely happy with stabilization, resolution, ease of use. It's going to be interesting to see how the audio holds up with just the stock microphone setup here and the really high winds. Again, you're seeing mostly, you know, my bike's set to 20 miles per hour max to be in class 2 mode right now. But if I go down a hill and I get to 20, I can hit 25, even 30 miles an hour down steep hills. So we'll see how the microphones hold up. Anyway, guys, if you're interested in seeing more about the GoPro Hero 11, definitely subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna have an in-detail review about it in the very near future.